Welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you know, the situation between SpaceX and the FAA has become increasingly tense regarding the licensing of Starship launches, particularly as SpaceX is striving to achieve ambitious missions but faces delays from the FAA's review process. Let's revisit a notable event. On April 20th, 2023, SpaceX conducted its first orbital flight test of Starship, which ended in failure. Since then, the FAA has initiated a detailed investigation, leading to a requirement for SpaceX to implement 63 corrective measures before continuing with other flights. This process took several months, requiring SpaceX to continuously work to meet the FAA's standards. Furthermore, obtaining the license for the first flight took over a year. Part of the reason was that the FAA had to work with other agencies, including the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, to ensure that launches would not negatively impact the critical ecosystem in the Boca Chica area of Texas. Although the approval time for subsequent flights has been shortened, SpaceX still faces numerous challenges. For instance, the second test flight was also delayed until SpaceX could prove that they had fully addressed the issues from the first launch. However, the FAA only granted approval after SpaceX demonstrated significant improvements in safety. By the time of the fourth flight, the relationship between SpaceX and the FAA seemed to have progressed. The FAA made the process somewhat easier by introducing more flexibility for future launches, provided that previous issues did not recur. This marked an important step forward, although the FAA continues to closely monitor every move of SpaceX. And now, as we look towards the fifth test flight of Starship, the FAA has started reviewing the changes SpaceX has proposed for this flight license. Will things go more smoothly this time, or will new challenges arise? Stay tuned. The FAA is currently reviewing new and critical aspects, including SpaceX's plan to reignite the Starship engines while in space, and the plan to use Mechazilla's arm to catch the Super Heavy booster as it returns to Earth. These bold steps mark significant milestones in SpaceX's journey to space, but they also come with higher risks as the company prepares for the fifth test flight of Starship. Currently, many developments are happening simultaneously, not only in the FAA's evaluation, but also at Starbase, where SpaceX is rushing to complete the necessary preparations to be ready for the next flight as soon as the FAA license is approved. One of their biggest ambitions is to catch the Super Heavy booster with the Mechazilla arm. This represents an unprecedented breakthrough in aerospace history. Unlike landing the booster on a drone ship, SpaceX faces a much more challenging task: catching the booster mid-air. This process requires near-perfect precision. Mechazilla's arms must time their movements perfectly to grab the booster as it descends, relying on the sophisticated control of the grid fins during the descent. The advantage of this method is that it eliminates the need for landing legs, reducing the booster's weight and allowing it to be placed back on the launch pad, thereby optimizing the rapid reusability process. The decision to pursue this test was made based on the success of the gentle ocean landings during the fourth flight, which gave SpaceX greater confidence in applying this daring technique. During that flight, SpaceX conducted simulations of the timing and movement needed to perform the booster catch with the tower. Positive results from these simulations provided a significant boost to the company. Additionally, SpaceX has conducted extensive tests on Mechazilla's arms, performing catch trials with booster mock-ups to ensure everything operates correctly. With these thorough preparations, SpaceX hopes to revolutionize the reuse of the Super Heavy booster, bringing the company closer to its goal of reaching further into space and significantly reducing costs for future missions. The latest tests at Starbase not only focus on practicing the catch of the Super Heavy booster, but also on the complex configurations of the Mechazilla arm. SpaceX has been moving the arm through various configurations, practicing the catch at different speeds and angles. The upcoming flight will serve as a critical real-world test to assess the effectiveness of this system. If successful, it could mark a significant advancement toward achieving the goal of fully reusable launch vehicles and enabling faster flight operations. Additionally, the fifth Starship flight will also focus on demonstrating in-orbit refueling capabilities. This includes reigniting the Raptor engines while Starship is in space, a crucial step for undertaking long-duration missions, such as trips to the Moon or even Mars. If in-orbit refueling is successful, it would be a major breakthrough, significantly extending Starship's operational range and substantially reducing costs for deep space cargo and crew missions. Meanwhile, the hardware for this flight is undergoing thorough testing. The Booster 12, which will be used for this launch, has already gone through static fire tests and numerous checks on the grid fins and other critical components. These tests aim to ensure that the booster operates flawlessly and is ready for the complex task of launching, returning, and potentially being caught by Mechazilla's arms. Not stopping there, SpaceX is also upgrading the launch infrastructure at Starbase. The launch towers are being improved, and new equipment has been installed to support a higher launch frequency for Starship in the future. These infrastructure upgrades are part of SpaceX's broader plan to increase Starship launches to up to 25 times per year. This will not only help SpaceX reach its deep space exploration goals, but also strengthen its pioneering position in the space industry. And if you followed along this far, I have a special surprise for you. We are now offering highly realistic Starship models exclusively for our loyal viewers at a very affordable price. This is a great opportunity for you to own a piece of the space journey right at home. SpaceX is advancing with its Starship program, but faces new challenges, including addressing critical issues from other programs. Recently, SpaceX was called upon to rescue astronauts from Boeing's Starliner, which has encountered severe technical problems. Initially expected to be a key vehicle for NASA's ISS missions, the Starliner has faced ongoing issues, starting with software errors during its 2019 test flight that prevented it from reaching orbit. Subsequent tests revealed more problems, including unsafe flammable tape in the cabin. These issues led to multiple delays, and even the first crewed flight in June 2024 faced safety challenges, prompting NASA to use SpaceX's Crew Dragon for the return mission. Crew Dragon's proven reliability made it the safer choice, demonstrating both NASA's confidence in SpaceX and the critical importance of astronaut safety. This mission highlights SpaceX's role as a dependable partner in space emergencies. NASA's decision to use SpaceX's Crew Dragon for the Starliner rescue mission, scheduled for February 2025, underscores a significant loss of trust in Boeing's spacecraft. With Starliner returning to Earth without a crew, NASA and Boeing will have additional time to address the spacecraft's issues. Both SpaceX's Crew Dragon and Boeing's Starliner are funded by NASA's Commercial Crew Program, established to develop reliable human spaceflight capabilities and reduce reliance on Russia's Soyuz rockets. In 2014, NASA awarded Boeing up to $4.2 billion and SpaceX $2.6 billion, despite SpaceX's lower proposal cost. Boeing's higher funding was justified by its complex system requirements, but Starliner has faced numerous delays and technical problems, while Crew Dragon has shown notable progress and reliability, completing its first crewed mission in 2020. The repeated failures of Starliner have sparked criticism of NASA's ongoing financial support for Boeing. Critics question whether Boeing's long-standing relationship with Washington, D.C. is influencing NASA's decisions, despite ongoing issues with the spacecraft. This situation raises concerns about fairness in funding and NASA's support, highlighting the complexities and controversies in modern space technology development.